So what we're going to do is take our concept art from the last video and create it in 3D in Maya. So the first step is I want you to go to students.autodesk.com and sign up for an account. Make sure to sign up as a student or you can't get the free software. And then under free software, we want to download Maya. I'm going to be using 2018, but you could use 2019, and I think 2020 is already out as well. And so once you sign in, you'll be able to pick a version and just go through the installation process. So what we're going to do is just talk a little bit about the basic interface. And I'm going to be brief because I'm going to repeat a lot of this as I'm going and several times throughout the coming videos. So go ahead and change it to Modeling Classic and or Maya Classic rather. And off to the side here, you have your channel box, your editor, and all that. Um, Maya Standard's a good one too. Well, so we'll do Modeling Standard because we're starting off with modeling. And off to the side here, you can see we have our, if we click this button, it gives us our 4 views. And let's start off by creating a cube. So I'm going to go to Create, Polygon Primitive, and Cube. And you can see drag the base on the grid and pull up for height. Some of you might have gotten something like this where this was unchecked. And so when you went to call it Create Polygon Primitive and you clicked on Cube, it created a cube for you. And that's okay. That's what I want for now. So with this selected, you can see there's these different options on the side. There's Selection, there's Move, which lets me move it around, right? There's Rotation, which lets me rotate. Now my cursor, my orbiting locator is a little bit bigger than yours. If you hit the minus key on the keyboard, it'll shrink it and plus brings it up. So I'm going to shrink that down. I'm going to hit F as in Frank to zoom in, just so we could see it in this view. Now, we can actually orbit around the cube in the view by holding Alt and left clicking. So I'm not releasing the Alt or the left mouse button. You can see here I can orbit around the cube. If I want to zoom in and out, I can just scroll the wheel on my mouse in and out. If I want to pan, I click Alt in the middle wheel and it allows me to pan. Alright. Now I'd like to move this cube above these grid lines. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll my wheel in on this front view here. And that's the view looking at it from this where this Z-axis is pointing. So Z-axis being, do you see this where it says the Z on there? And then there's an arrow here. So I'm actually looking at it from this view here. And I'm just going to click on this top arrow and drag it up. And again, if you don't see this locator, the Move It locator, it's by clicking here or pressing W. The next thing I want to do is smooth this cube out so it becomes a sphere. So I'm going to go up to Mesh at the top and just click on Smooth. And I'm going to change the divisions, which is down here, to 2. Now let's hit spacebar here so we can zoom in on just our perspective view. Alright, I'm going to click off and then click back on. And what this does is this gives me object mode. So if I right click on this and I don't release the mouse button, you can see there's these different modes. One being object, another is edge mode where I can click on an edge and move that. Another is vertex mode where I can select a grouping of vertices and move those. There's face down here where I can pull that out. Right now I'm pretty happy with just the sphere here. So what I want to do is I'm holding Alt and left clicking and I feel like my rotation or my orbiting is a bit wonky. I want to focus on this again, so I'm going to hit F, and now when I rotate, it rotates just around that sphere. Alright, let's take a look at the process of unwrapping this so we can paint it. So inside of here, I'm going to go to UV, click on UV Editor, and what this does is it gives me a flat 2D view of my sphere. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up and essentially planar map this sphere out so I'm looking at it in one view. So when I hit F9 and I go up to the top to create planar, you'll see it planar mapped it on one view, which is this side view here, not the front view. So, and that was evident by it being, here, let's do that again. So create planar. You could see that this box here planed it from the side, and that's okay for now because I really just want to get all of those faces together. So let's go ahead and right click and go to edge mode and double click this center edge. And we're going to rotate off to the side here, holding control and deselect. By controlling and holding the left mouse, I can drag the mouse key and I'm deselecting that front edge. So all that's there is this backend. So I'm going to hit 4 on the keyboard so you can see that. And what I want to do is add a seam or cut here. So I'm going to go to cut, sew, and hit cut. And then when you go to unfold and you click unfold, you can see it unfolded just that edge. What we're going to do is right click and hold down the right mouse button, select all these UVs, and then click unfold. And what that did is it stretched it out or pulled it around that seam, this line that we created. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is go to scale on my keyboard, scale this down, and just move it down to the bottom. All right, now let's hit 5 on the keyboard to bring back our shaded mode. Now, this video is not supposed to replace classroom instruction, so I'm just sort of going through the process on here. If you need additional help, please stop by my office. All right, so here's the UVs, here's the ball. In the next video, we're going to take it into a program called Substance Painter, and we're going to paint it so it looks like the concept in our concept art.